click the links to go to the Odyssey and BitChute and the other YouTube channels. I don't know where in the world you're listening to this. Probably if it's not America and you think knife fights in America are standard, are just par for the course, let me assure you, knife fights in America are not common. In fact, I don't think knife fights anywhere on Earth are common because knives, this is a small one I carry every day, are extremely dangerous. This is a little folding pocket knife with a small blade. It's half the size, the knife. This blade's probably under 4 inches. It's probably half the size, the knife the girl was carrying in Ohio yesterday. This little thing, one hit with a knife might cut an artery or a vein, causing blood pressure loss and ultimately death. The girl yesterday was carrying a steak knife it looked like it had an 8-inch blade. Deep blades, deep penetration, good chance of hitting something that is going to cause massive internal bleeding, massive blood loss. Americans do not have knife fights. Those are maybe in those movies made in the 60s about, the Jets and the whatevers, the musicals. Those are musicals. Those are lies. Anything you see on TV is a lie. Americans don't do this. Americans don't even really have gunfights where both parties are armed. It's pretty rare. It's like the stuff you see on TV. Remember, if you're seeing it on a screen, it's a lie. Okay, this woman is apparently a crazy person, and the problem with people on the left in their treatment of purse puppies is they're terrified of telling a black person they have a bad idea or they're doing something dumb. People on the right will tell you right to your face, doesn't matter your color, or you've got to have a certain comfort with yourself. If you see someone doing something dumb, you tell them this is a better way to do it. The reason you're doing it doesn't work is because so. I've seen examples of this on Twitter, before when I was still on there, of a black kid came up with an idea for a battery charger, emergency cell phone battery charger, and it was somebody who was just starting to have a fondness for electronics, and he was using a 9-volt battery, and there's capacitors and V equals IR and basic formulas, simple stuff, but he was using a 9-volt battery which has a very limited capacity to charge a cell phone. It's well, no, you'd be better off using a bunch of D cells, tape them together to get the required voltage. Anyway, so those of us on the right who were kind of handy with electronics were explaining the difference in capacities and currents and internal resistance and just basic fun electronic stuff for beginners to get him to move on to the next stage where he learned from a simple mistake and moved on to something else. But because it was a black kid that came up with the idea, people on the left were like, oh, bravo, this is genius. You should go to MIT. This is something kids do all the time. This is just to, correct a simple mistake and move him on to further electronic projects. Don't praise him so lavishly he thinks he's a genius. But that's something people on the left do. They're terrified to criticize somebody who they identify as a purse puppy. In their mind, it's this soft bigotry of lowered expectations. Believe it or not, people are very grateful if you are politely correct them. People want to know that their zipper's down. They don't want to go out looking like a clown, and you have to take them aside and quietly tell them their zipper's down so they don't. And they go, oh, thanks for not letting me look like a clown. Where liberals will just be like the emperor and wears no clothes. Anyway, she's a crazy person. She seemed to say that teens have had knife fights for a long time. They don't, because again, knives are insanely deadly. You would have people's scarred faces, missing eyes, just horrific wounds. If you go to South America, Africa, look like machete wounds and stuff. It was horrific, deadly wounds. So she's black, and what she seemed to say, because Americans don't have knife fights, period. Where both parties are armed with knives? No. So she's kind of implying that her culture has knife fights. They don't. You'd be reading about it in the FBI crime stats. District attorneys would be talking about it. Be all over the news. No, it's not. I don't know. What was that music? I don't even know the name of the musical, or Grease, or whatever. All those books and movies and musicals in the 50s. Those are fake. People don't have knife fights because it's mutually assured destruction. In fact, The advice is how to defend against a knife attack is just run like hell. Or go run if you can get away, run away. If you can't get away, run right through the knife. I mean, just try to run the person over, take the minimum amount of damage and keep going. Because like if two people had a knife fight, they would probably end up killing each other. Because it's very hard to defend against a knife fight. Anyway, this is a crazy person, and she's not doing herself or America. I was going to say her group any credit, but there's a lot of this, our group and your group, and that's not a road you want to go down. You're trying to say that like black Americans routinely have knife fights, and even as much as if you hate black Americans or you hate people left or right, nobody in America routinely has knife fights because they would die. Okay, her tweet's still up. She hasn't deleted it. Teenagers have been having knife fights for a long time. We do not need police to address these situations. Okay, so what you're saying is that if one black female 16 is attempting to kill another black woman, you don't want the police to interfere? That's what you're saying. That's insane. I hope you get the society you want. Best of luck to you. And then there's liberals in the comments. I should probably hit some comments. Liberals in the comments who are trying to defend her. They're saying, oh yeah, we had knife fights all the time. No, you didn't. You might have kids who brought knives to school or carry knives all the time, against stray dogs. Like bad dogs, pit bulls, or coyotes, or mountain lions, all that kind of stuff. It's always good to have a couple knives on you. They didn't have knife fights. They carried knives. Knife fights are deadly. That's what knives do. They're sharp. They cut. No, this is a lie. This is insane. This is a lie by a crazy person. I hope you do defund the police, because I'm going to do another video for this on BitChute and Odyssey. If you defund the police, we will just start... listen, California. You can't open carry in California since 2011. You can't conceal carry. It's a felony. If there are no cops, we're going to open carry. Every time I go walk a dog at night, if there's no laws, people will open carry everywhere because they have to. If you live in the California Bay Area and there's no cops, everyone will have to openly carry or conceal carry. If there's no one... Jesus, these people are so fucking retarded. Sorry for my language.